So guys, this new development here is called Shangri-La Gardens. We're actually on the Peters Hall section of this connecting road, and we just wanted to explore this neighborhood to see what is actually being constructed, what's being built in this neck of the woods. Seems as if a number of housing developments are built. This one is Windsor Estates here. So what we're looking at is housing developments, new housing developments here on the East Bank. This one is Windsor Estates. Actually, I probably should give a tour of Windsor Estates in a future video, but it seems as if this is the leading edge of housing development that is commercial, well, not commercial real estate, but developers acquiring large tracts of land and building what we used to call housing schemes, but are now being referred to as housing developments. This one says coming soon, and it's called Legacy Hall. Seems as if it's a townhouse. So they're probably going to build a townhouse based on the sign here on the opposite side of Windsor Estates. So this is Windsor Estates gated community here on the East Bank. Peters Hall. This one seems to have a roof covered with solar panels. Right, that is Windsor Estates, back end of Windsor Estates. That is Shangri-La Gardens. And all of this land seems to be designated for building something called Legacy Mall. Legacy Mall, as the sign says. Legacy Mall. And it seems as if it's a townhouse development, a row of townhouses. This is what's happening here in this neck of the woods. So this is the road that runs beside Windsor Estates, and on the other side of it is Peters Hall. So that's land that is going to be developed here in Peters Hall. Homes, we're looking at it from the outside. These homes are still being constructed here in Windsor Estates. Right, these are homes that are still being constructed here in Windsor Estates. And some of them seem to be much, much larger. For example, these seem to be much larger and to be built in North American architectural styles. Alright, so these are all new homes in Windsor Estate compound. They seem to have been expanding. Right, they seem to be expanding the estate. And right here at the end, they seem to be building a multi-unit condominium from the look of things. Alright, so we're simply walking on the outside of Windsor Estates. And what we have here is the end of being constructed. So these are new homes that are being constructed in Windsor Estates. Homes seem pretty tightly stacked. Right, so these seem to be multi-unit condominiums. Let's see what this notice says. This notice is construction. This is a construction area. That's what the notice says. So it seems as if they're building a multi-unit condominium here at the south end of Windsor Estates, and the next village is Providence. So that's what's happening here. This is Windsor Estates. Seems as if it's going to be a 3-story condominium with balconies, right? These are balconies that are projected over this western face of the building. All right, this is the western face. We're actually walking along the western side of this gated community, Windsor Estates. The next village is Providence, and they have on their houses Sherriff homes. So the Sherriff company, Sherriff Security, Sherriff Hospital, and so on, they're building their housing development over here in Providence East Bank. It says Sherriff Homes. But over here, this is Windsor Estates. This is the south end of Windsor Estates. It's a crossover into Providence. We can look back at Windsor Estates and see. Right, that's Windsor Estates. We're going to take a look on the inside of Windsor Estates in future videos. But for now, what seems to happen is that they're building townhomes, multi-unit condominiums at the southwestern end of Windsor Estate, and on the other side of the road in Providence, so that's Peters Hall. We just left Peters Hall. We've actually walked the entire length of Peters Hall. On this side of Providence, Sherriff Company, the Sherriff Company is building Sherriff homes. Right, that's Sherriff Homes here in Providence. And they've already constructed a fairly large number of homes inside this gated and fenced off compound. These are the ones that are still being constructed at the north end. And in the village of Providence. So that's what's happening here, guys. A lot of housing development and housing construction being done both by individuals and by companies, right? By individuals and companies. Here is Sherriff, which is also building a hospital on the East Bank Bypass Road on Sherriff Street. They own Sherriff Security, and I guess this is also their play in the housing sector. Tell me what you think about the architecture, the architectural styles. These seem to be townhomes with flat roofs. The good thing about flat roofs is that you can put solar panels on them, but they do have a tendency to leak because of cooling of water. But tell me what you think. This way to the East Bank Road, it says. And here is another housing development here in, the sign says access to Eccles and the East Bank Bypass Road. More houses. In this case, I don't know if these are these are individual homes. It seems as if these are homes being built in the village of Providence by individuals, as opposed to developers. But this is what's happening here, guys, as we head back to the East Bank Bypass Road on this, what I suppose eventually will lead to the East Bank Road through the village of Providence. On that side you can see the homes in the Windsor Estates compound, and on this side single family homes being built in Providence. Morning. So guys, that's what's happening in this neck of the woods. A lot of home construction, single family homes being constructed here on the East Bank. I promise to take a closer look at these homes in future videos. That, for example, is what's being built by individual homeowners as opposed to the homes being built by Sherriff Security, Sherriff Company and Windsor Estates. It's a leading edge of housing development in Guyana. However, it doesn't seem to have evolved much into the 21st century beyond the fact that the homes are all constructed of cinder blocks and cement, which is more durable than wood. But of course, because this is the tropics, those homes are going to be very hot and require cooling, and they're not built with central air conditioning. As you can see, most of these homes have single air conditioning units hanging off the side of the building, which means we haven't really advanced much beyond our appreciation of aesthetic, say of clean surfaces on the outside of the building. By building a central air conditioning system, you can put the AC on the ground, on the outside, or on the roof, and you don't have plumbing. You don't have plumbing and AC hanging off the side of the building. Right, so the plumbing and the AC units hanging off the side of the building tell you exactly where the toilets are, where the bathroom is located, and how the house is cooled. So that's probably not something we want to continue doing in the 21st century. There are better ways, neater, tidier ways to build, but it's probably still cheaper to build this way, which is why a lot of the homes have continued to be built. And that's the way they were built in the 1980s, 90s, and 20th century in general. But that's it, guys. That's what's happening in this neck of the woods. We've come through Peters Hall and now in Providence, heading back to the East Bank Bypass Road. And what we've seen is that a lot of the new construction being done in this neck of the woods is being done by the development companies. We're going to take a walk in these neighborhoods in future videos so you can get a closer look at how these neighborhoods are evolving here in Guyana, here in Peters Hall and Providence in the 21st century, and how the East Bank Bypass Road provides access or rapid transit connectivity connection to the East Coast and to Georgetown. So guys, that's what's happening in this neck of the woods. Want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe. In the comments below, tell me what you think about the housing development that's going on here in Providence on the East Bank, and what do you think about the East Bank Bypass Road cutting through these neighborhoods on its way to Mary? Alright, because that East Bank Bypass Road is eventually going to connect to Linden Highway, Linden Susdike Highway. So tell me what you think about that. On this side, you see a number of new homes going up. On this side, I think we saw in a previous video, that's a multi-unit. Right, this one here is a multi-unit home, and a number of other multi-unit townhomes are being constructed. I understand the law in Parliament that allows you to buy a condominium in Guyana has been approved, so it's now possible for you to buy a condominium in exactly the same way you would in North America or Europe. You know, you can buy a flat like you would in England in a multi-unit townhome. That law has now been passed in Parliament, and that's what's leading to a lot of these townhomes, right? So a lot of these homes can now be built and sold because there's a law that supports that style of housing here in Guyana. And so you can see a lot more of them being built. There in the distance you can see that's another multi-story, appears to be multi-unit home under construction. And on this side, still more single family homes. Single family and multi-family condominiums, gated communities, and so on. So this is the end of the East Bank Bypass Road at this junction. And the end of this video. We'll continue in the next video, show you more of what is happening here on the East Bank. Right, so this is where the East Bank Highway continues. Remember, in a previous video earlier this week, we came to this end where we showed you what's happening at the end of the East Bank bypass here. And that road is going to continue south on this tract of land. Alright, tract of reserve land. This is it, guys. East Bank Bypass Road continues south from this point. If you want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe. In the comments below, tell me what you think about development at this edge, right? This leading edge of construction in Guyana. They're building a culvert here. Morning. So here they're building this culvert. That's the East Bank Bypass Road. That's the workmen beginning the day, continue construction. Share this video with friends and family around the world, like I said. Let people know what's happening here in Georgetown, Guyana, at the site of the fastest development, fastest growing country in the world, on the East Bank, Providence and Peters Hall. Later!